Hi, I'm Scott. Welcome to Canard Boulevard, the very first video of this new YouTube channel. I apologize for the audio. I forgot my microphone today, so I'm just using my camera audio. So, this is my hangar. You may notice something missing. That's right, I have a hangar with no airplane. So how did we get here? Well, first off, let me explain that this is not my first foray into YouTube. I actually have two other YouTube channels that I've had for a number of years. One is Goldwing Docs. I have the largest Goldwing forum on the internet called goldwingdocs.com. I also have a Goldwing Docs YouTube channel. If you care to check that out, I teach people how to fix their own Goldwing motorcycles. I also have Scott's Synth Stuff. I am big into synthesizers, and I have a channel that I review and teach people how to use synthesizers. I will put a link to both those YouTube channels in the description below if you care to look. This channel is all about Canard aircraft. Why Canards? Well, because I just bought one. So let me tell you how we got here. I have been a commercial pilot with multi-engine instrument ratings since about 1991. I grew up around airplanes. My father had an airplane when I was growing up. I think the first time I flew an airplane, I was 4 years old. I have a picture of myself at the controls at 4 years old, so I have evidence. I have two brothers. They're both pilots. My father is a pilot. He was an instructor, commercial pilot. My youngest brother flies 737s for a living, so it kind of runs in the family. I always either flew my father's airplane or rented airplanes or relied on the kindness of friends. Over the years, I've had a few people that I met who had an airplane that they needed to get flown, and I would fly it. So thank you, George. I'm thinking of George in particular, had an Arrow that was sitting and needed to be flown, so I did so. A couple of years ago, I thought, you know, kids are out of the house. I'm in a place financially where I could probably swing an airplane. I started looking at different airplanes. I was looking at the Grumman Tiger or the Cheetah, that series of airplanes, you know, the ones built by Jim Beattie. But then I thought, well, my father was A&P, or in Canada it's called AME. He always fixed his own airplane, and I always loved to help him do that. And if I bought a certified airplane here in the US, I wouldn't be able to work on it myself because I'm not an A&P. So I thought, well, what about if I built my own airplane? Because then I'd get an A&P certificate for my own airplane. I could do my own work. I could do my own annuals on it. And so I brought that up to my wife, and she said no. Basically, I work enough already that she complains about me not having enough time. And she said, if you start building an airplane, well, you can figure what she said, because I decided I can't build an airplane. I simply don't have the time. Although I would love it, and maybe in some years when I'm retired and have a lot more time, when we get down that road, I may just build one just because I would love to have that experience. In the meantime, I thought, okay, well, I want an experimental airplane that I can work on myself. I can't build one, gotta buy one. So I started looking at different aircraft. I wanted an aircraft that would be a good cross-country traveler. I wanted one that was reasonably fast, that would be a good IFR platform, that could carry 4 people and have reasonable range. I really had it down to 3 or 4 different aircraft. Of course, there's vans, but unfortunately the vans are so popular. All those RVs are so popular that they rarely come up for sale, and when they do, they're really expensive. I had my short list down to the BD4C. The BD4C is well, let's be truthful, it's ugly. It's an ugly airplane, but it's really efficient, really easy to work on, really easy to fly. It's another Jim Beattie design. They don't come up for sale that often. There aren't a whole lot of them out there, at least not the 4C variants of them. They are building them and selling them, but the ones that are being built and sold today don't come up for sale that often. So then I started looking at Canards. In particular, the Cozy. The Cozy is the one that I really kind of settled on. I thought, okay, a Cozy Mark IV has 4 seats, it's fast, has got legs, it's a good stable IFR platform, good cross-country plane. There's benefits, there's drawbacks, but I decided, okay, I think the Cozy is the one I'm gonna look for. So I started looking for Cozys. I told my wife about the plane and what it could do, what it was like, and she agreed that that was a good plane to look for. So I thought, okay, What I'm going to do is sit down, drop a list of exactly what I want in a Cozy, and then I'll wait for that plane to come up for sale, and I'll see if I can buy it. I wanted a glass cockpit, I wanted a low-time airframe, low-time engine, all the stuff that you really want in an airplane. Oh, and of course, it has to be built really well by a builder that I wanted to talk to the original builder, and I wanted to really look at the airplane to make sure that it was built well. I wanted to talk to the builder and get his mindset to get an idea of how the aircraft was built, because you're relying on his skills in building the aircraft. If you buy one third or fourth hand, you have no idea who built it and what he was like, or what's been done to it since, unless it's in the logs. So I figured it's going to be a couple years or at least before one of these comes up that it's exactly what I'm looking for. That was back in March. The next month, you guessed it, the airplane came up that I was looking for. 1 month in, that I thought was going to be 2 or 3 years. So I thought, well, there's got to be something wrong with it. So I messaged the owner and I said, can you tell me about it and what's it got in it? And he told me it's a full Garmin suite, G3X. It's got a GNS 530 in it. It's got the Garmin autopilot. It's got a backup EFIS. It's got fuel-injected IO 360 with low hours. It's under 400 hours. It's got a Kato prop. And I was hoping he was going to tell me something that made me not want the plane, but everything he said was what I was looking for. So I talked to my wife and I said, I've got this plane, but I can't, it's way too early. I mean, we're looking at a couple years down the road at this plane, and I mean, yes, this is the perfect plane, but we're not ready for it. And she just looked at me and said, you know what, buy it. So I did. I went out. We did the annual on it, and I learned an awful lot about that airplane, pulling it apart, putting it back together, found a few things wrong, which we got fixed, and got to know the owner, who was just the nicest guy ever. So is his wife, and they are Cozy people. They love the Cozy. He's owned this plane for 20 years, and they absolutely love it. He is now building an RV, so he's looking to move on from the Cozy, and therefore I bought it. Came home and thought, oh my gosh, I need somewhere to put it. I need a hangar. Guess what? There are no hangars. I spent weeks calling airports, visiting airports, talking to people, trying to find a hangar. There just weren't any. And then just out of nowhere, at this airport, literally 10 minutes from my house, I just out of nowhere, I found out that there was an open hangar, and I grabbed it. So, okay, got a hangar. I know some people are on waiting lists for years before they get a hangar. It took me just 3 weeks of looking, and that was just a stroke of luck. There is no reason why I should have a hangar already, but hey, here we are, I got a hangar. It did need some lights. I put lights up in it, and I've got my tools and whatnot in here. Great. Okay, now we have a hangar. Now I need insurance. I need to get a flight review because I'm not current, and oh yeah, need to sort out that money thing. All those things taken care of, we went back out to Chicago with my wife in our RV, and spent a couple days going over the plane, and got to fly it a couple times, got some landings in, and the plan was to go up both with the owner, with the instructor, and get some, just basically checked out in the airplane before I flew it home. Which we started doing, and then the next day, smoke rolls in from Canada, and everything is IFR, low IFR. Okay, well, we can wait. I brought my work laptop with me. My wife has to go home, but I'll just get in a hotel, and I'll work in the hotel for a couple of days. It'll be fine. So I'm in the hotel working. Next day, thunderstorms all day. All right, fine. One more day is just fine. Next day, smoke. Okay, we went back out to the airport, do some work on the airplane, and get familiar with it, read some of the manuals, and tomorrow's the day. Next day comes up, smoke, low IFR. I am not flying this airplane, dodging thunderstorms in low IFR conditions the very first time I fly it. I want good VFR for flying this thing all the way back here to Cleveland. I've run out of time, I can't stay any longer, so I fly back. A couple weeks later, I'm ready to fly back out to Chicago and go pick it up. And the weather forecast is thunderstorms. And the day after that, thunderstorms. And what happens right after that? Smoke. Okay, so I canceled that flight. We'll try again in a couple weeks. Couple weeks is tomorrow. So tomorrow I am flying out back to Chicago again. Gonna go back in the plane, do some familiarization flights, get to know the avionics, get to practice some landings. So the landings are a little bit different in this airplane. And then on Sunday, tomorrow being Saturday, on Sunday, the plan is to get in the plane, fly it back here to its new home airport in Ohio, pull it into my new hangar. So that's where we are. That's my story. That's how we got here. Hopefully, I'm going to bring you along on this journey, and you'll have just as much fun as I have had so far. Some stress, but mostly fun. And we'll talk about why I decided on this airplane, why I decided on Canards in general. We'll talk about the benefits of Canards and some of the drawbacks, and just geek out on aviation. I'm glad you're here and glad you joined me. Hey, if you want, click like and subscribe, click the little bell, because then whenever I do post a new video, you'll get notified, and that way this channel can grow, because right now, as of right now, there are 0 subscribers because I just started it. So let's see where this channel could go. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. I read everything and I reply to pretty much everything as well. Thanks for watching. See you soon.